Assalamu alaikum everybody, my name is Zakaria Abdussalam and I'm from class 11B2.
My name is Yahina Zabi and I'm 12G1.
And we're members of the Psychology Union, which is a group made up of volunteer students, which are volunteers, it's not mandatory. And our goal is to get a better understanding of human behavior, how we act and why we act like that. And we also want to have a better understanding of the brain and understand how the brain operates and how the brain regulates behavior and motion and such. Now, the union is made up of 7 committees, and these committees are
the Communication Committee,
Organization Committee,
the Design Committee,
Media Committee,
the DIC or Debate Committee,
the Research Committee,
and the Experiment and Statistics Committee.
Now let's talk about these committees.
The first committee is the Communication Committee. The Communication Committee is the committee in charge of communicating to all people involved in any event. If we got a guest speaker to talk about the neurology of the brain, like a neurologist for example, the Communication Committee would be in charge of sending out an email, writing it out, finding who they are, sending it to them, or just to inform school general managers to approve events, or to inform all the students that an event is occurring or the staff. The Communication Committee is in charge of communicating the ideas to everyone in the committee and the school.
Now, the Organization Committee. The Organization Committee is the committee that is responsible for the organization and the creation of events. So this is the committee that is responsible for making the committees, preparing the events, and then seeing them through. Meaning they make sure that nothing goes wrong. Now, what do? The Organization Committee makes a need list, and as the name suggests, it's a list of requirements that must be fulfilled before the event begins. Oh, we need to hire these people, we need to rent this, we need to get that, and such. And they're also responsible for seeing it through, as I said before. So making sure that nothing goes wrong. Oh, make sure this is going on at the right time. Making sure that someone isn't slacking off. Making sure someone isn't making a mess, and as such.
Next up, there's the Graphic Design or Design Committee. The Design Committee is in charge of creating all graphic designs needed for any event or anything related to the union. For example, the logo is made by the Design Committee. Any posters will be made by the Design Committee or banners. Anything that needs to be designed is done by the Design Committee. An example of what they would do is if there was an upcoming event, they would create a poster on Canva or any other program they prefer. They'd create a poster informing people what the event is about, when the event is, and then they will take what they have created, send it to the Organization Committee, which will print it out and post the posters along the school to inform students and staff that the event is happening.
Now, the Media Committee is responsible for recording and publishing clips and pictures of the Psychology Union's events. They're going to be committee members who will have cameras on them, and they will be recording or taking a picture of parts of the event and then publishing them on social media. So such platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. So these are just a few examples, but a majority of the responsibility is regulation of what comes onto the internet and what doesn't go on. So it's filtering through a multitude of clips and pictures just to pick that right one out.
Next up, we have the DIC Committee or the Debate and Interview Committee. This committee is in charge of creating or deciding what to say for the debates and interviews. If we were to have a guest speaker, there will be a script or a general script of what will be discussed. The Debate Committee will do conduct research of the topics and decide which questions to ask the guest speakers and how the debates will go, the flow of them. They're in charge of the general content that will be created if it's a debate or an interview.
Now, the Research Committee. As the name suggests, the Research Committee's sole responsibility is researching, but in this sense, in an example, if the Organization Committee was to house an event involving an interview with a person, the Research Committee would be responsible for the background research, who the person is, what their accomplishments are, what is their history, and so providing general research which will be supplied to the Communication Committee and the Debate Committee in order for further use.
The last committee we have is the Experiment and Statistics Committee. Since it's a psychology union, there are some experiments that will be conducted. This can be, for example, experiments on conditional learning or how people tend to copy each other. Any experiment that will be conducted is conducted by the Experiment and Statistics Committee. They will conduct the experiments, organize them, get the people involved, and then after the experiment is finished, they will create the statistics or any graphs needed of the results of the committee and have the final results formed to share with the rest of this union and school.
Now, as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man's uncle, once stated, with great power comes great responsibility. It is exactly in this sense as well. When a person joins a committee, they are held accountable for themselves. If you mess up, you're held accountable for yourself. You're responsible for your actions. So responsibility plays a major role in a committee member. If a person makes a mistake, they will be responsible for being held accountable. And if so, they must present valid reasons. You can't just be held accountable without reasons. You cannot make a mistake without a reason for it.
Last but not least, we have the rewarding system. Whoever does choose to join this, since it's optional, you'll be contributing to something bigger than yourself. And this will last, this will be in the school forever, and the things that are posted will always be in the school. And as appreciation of what you have contributed to, there are certificates of appreciation at the end of the year, and it is by the school manager and the school system. And you'll have a certificate which you can also take to your college and universities, applications, whatever you need. But you will get certificates of appreciation, and your work is always appreciated. Thank you.
All right, thank you for listening to our little video, and we hope to see you soon in the Psychology Union. Goodbye.
Bye.